Just wanted to let you know that your test results came back, and the diagnosis is you've got a bad case of loving the Ron Van Dam show. Now, it's curable, but if loving this show is wrong, do you really want to be right? You are listening to the Ron Van Dam Show on New England Broadcasting.
Ron Van Dam is an experienced talk show host. Do not attempt to try this at home.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Thank you so much.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
I finally figured it out. I am nothing but Alexa's bitch. I think that's true. That Alexa thing, that Amazon Alexa thing, treats me like dirt. She treats me like I'm stupid, like I don't know anything. Maybe it's because I keep asking her questions. Sounds like I don't know anything. Oh, I'm her bitch. Oh, that's for sure. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for the standing ovation. You can sit down now. That's a fantasy I have. I'm sorry. It got away from me. Welcome to the program. Today, this is what would I call this? I would call this the insightful show. Not that it's a special show. It's just insightful. What that means is basically nothing. I'm going to start by answering questions from listeners. I haven't done this in 17 years. Or at all. So some questions from listeners, and I hope that this answers many of the questions that you have kept inside your body for so long. Now let me see. With my vast knowledge, my vast deference of knowledge, I will now, I will be your Alexa. I will be your bitch. Okay, here we go. This is from Marcia Henry, Teaneck, New Jersey. She asks me, what's the square root of 17? I don't know, Marcia. I have no freaking idea. I haven't squared a root in a long time. So I don't know. Look that up yourself. Okay, what else do we have here? This is from Bart Sugarman from Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh, hey, you got a lot of ice and snow down there, didn't you? Okay, here it is. Let's see what he said. Ron, what is your favorite diner? I can't tell if this says dinner or diner, so I'll answer both. My favorite diner is the Claremont Diner in Montclair, New Jersey. What is it? Oh, that's the Montclair Diner in Montclair, New Jersey. That's my favorite diner. What's my favorite dinner? The meatloaf at the Montclair Diner in Montclair, New Jersey. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Betty Furness. Betty Furness. Wow, where's she from? Dallas, Kansas. That doesn't make sense. I guess there is a Dallas in Kansas. She says, what's that painted line in the middle of the road for? Oh, God. the car, to keep the car separated going in opposite directions. Wow. Okay, let's see what else we got. Ron, this is from Robert Flakeman in Pasadena, California. Oh, that's where they hold the Super Bowl. No, the Rose Bowl. I had it close. Let's see. What do you want to say here, Robert? Yeah. What is your favorite color? Oh, I would say meatloaf. What? Oh, color. Blue. Blue. I like blue because it's, I don't know. Okay, what else do we have here? Let's go to from a child. Do we have any questions? Oh, okay, fine. Louis Prickleman, Kansas City, Kansas. Okay, that makes more sense. Louis Prickleman, boy, Louis, you must get teased a lot in school. Seriously, with a name like Louis? Wow, you are. I feel so sorry for you. Okay, what would you want to know here? Oh, Ron, how many years did you spend in the second grade? That's a stupid question. 3. Okay, what else? Oh, Jacksonville, Florida. Mary Sunshine, Jacksonville, Florida. Mary says, sometimes on the show you insult Florida, claiming that people there have their brains baked by the sun, their hair is frizzy because of the humidity, and the entire state is shaped like a penis. Do you really mean it, or is that a comedy routine? I really mean it. Okay. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, Ron, what kind of car do you drive? That's from Sydney Boneswale, something like that. Sydney lives in Montclair, New Jersey. Hey, that's where my favorite diner is. Sydney, what do you want to know here? What kind of car do you drive? Oh, the kind automatic. Yeah, with the automatic transmission. That's the kind I like. I'll tell you a funny story that isn't all that funny. And this is a true story that isn't all that true. So, no, it is true. I had just learned to drive, and I was driving a car. I was driving my father's car. When I was growing up, we were a one-car family. So, we had to borrow cars all the time when I was able to drive. When I believe I was 16 or 17 at the time. And my friend Ricky had one of those, I think they're called Citroëns. It's a French car that is really stupid looking. And it was a manual transmission. And he said, Ron, do you know how to drive a stick? I said, into the heart of a vampire? Sure. He says, no, do you know a stick shift? I said, no. He says, oh, it's really easy. I'll teach you. And he lived on somewhat of a hill, so he was showing me the various gears. And he said, Ron, get in the car. You give it a try. So I got in the driver's seat, and he instructed me. I still don't know how to do it really well. He instructed me, and I was shifting the gears, and all of a sudden I hear this ratcheting sound like there was a dead body in the trunk trying to get out. It was really bad. And the car all of a sudden stalled. And he looked at me and he said, Ron, you stripped the gears. I said, I don't know what you just said, but I don't think that's good, is it? So Ricky's father had to come out, and we had to get a tow truck, and everything was fine after a while. I was incarcerated for 7 years as a result of ruining their car. No, I wasn't incarcerated. But no one yelled at me or anything, but they kind of yelled at Ricky for letting me drive the car, not knowing how to drive a stick shift, a manual transmission. So that was interesting. Did you enjoy that story? No, I didn't either. Let's see. Ron, I asked this of Alexa and she wasn't able to answer it. You probably can. This is from Kathy Mona. Ooh, I bet you do. That was stupid. I apologize. Kathy says, was it Marie Antoinette that said, let them eat cake, and why did she say that? Okay, Marie's, she had a daughter, I believe her name was, Catherine III or something, or I don't know. And so Marie was holding this party for her and invited kids over. This was centuries and centuries ago, so I don't remember it that well. And they invited a lot of kids over, and one of the parents who were there brought her daughter over to the birthday party for Catherine III, Marie Antoinette's daughter. She said no, she can't eat that. She's allergic to cake, and Marie Antoinette stood up and she says, "Oh, let him eat cake." And actually, the kid did eat cake, had a horrible reaction to it, and had to be rushed to the hospital. But Marie, what were you thinking? Marie, you don't let them eat cake when a kid has an allergy. You lost your head there in making that decision. I'll tell you that right. Crazy. All right, I think I've done enough damage here, and I do have great knowledge from doing the talk show thing for 33 years. So I do have great knowledge, and I do hope that I was able to pass it amongst you. All right, what? One more question? We have time for one more? Fine. God, get off my ass, will you? Oh, boy. Carmen DeBono from Nashville, Tennessee. Carmen DeBono. That's a nice name, almost. Carmen, what do you want here? Ron, were you ever left back in school? Well, I made a joke about the second grade. Of course, I wasn't left back in second grade. But I did fail geometry in sixth grade, I believe it was, or something like that. Yeah, I think it was sixth grade. Yeah. Maybe it was in seventh, maybe eighth, maybe ninth. I don't know, somewhere in there. But I did fail geometry because I didn't really care about shapes. I thought, all right, what's the deal here? I don't plan to go into engineering or any type of great mathematical kind of occupation. So, why am I sitting here learning geometry? There was a hypotenuse involved, which is an animal that I've never seen before, and a radius, and things like that, and a lot of circles and stuff, and I didn't see the point. It kind of ruins the fun of all the shapes. There's triangles and circles and squares and rectangles and pentagons and things like that, and they're fun, and you can draw them and color them in with various colors. Blue is my favorite. That's fun. So, it kind of ruins it when now I have to know the technical part of how many centimeters are involved in the diameter of it. And I just why are you ruining it? It's like telling a joke that's really funny and then you explain why it's funny. Now it's not funny anymore. Stop explaining things. Sometimes things are what they are. They are. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Unless it's not a duck, and it sounds like a duck, but it's not a duck. That's the only exception. Otherwise, if it quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck. So we assume it's a duck. All right. I have an interesting guest coming up a little bit later in the program, but before we do that, as long as we're exposing ourselves physically here, I guess it's a good idea to let people know exactly what your childhood was like, so you know a little bit more about people. So I'll start the conversation. I don't mind. I really don't have a problem with that. I'll tell you a little bit about my past, and not how I got here, but more so my family. People say, Ron, what was your childhood like? Well, I'll tell you. My Childhood by Ron Van Dam. I was born on a farm. My parents were sharecroppers. They shared the crop, and I was I would say about 4 or 5 years old. And my father used to make me strap a harness on my back and pull a cart. And we had a farm stand. And people would buy tomatoes and things from us. We were a poor family. We didn't know where our next dollar was coming from. So I had to do most of the work. My parents told me that I was born in a barn. I thought it was a manger, but they said it was a barn. And when I was born, there was a midwife. My father had a high wife, a midwife, and a low wife. He fooled around a lot. And I was born. And then the first things I remember lying in the hay in the barn, which I thought was a manger basically, I looked up and I saw 3 wise men, Mo, Larry, and Curly. And I stared at them, and they stared at me. And Mo picked me up and handed me to Larry, and Larry handed me to Mo, and then Mo handed me to Curly, and Curly handed me to Larry, and Larry handed me back to Curly. And then I heard the strangest sound. It was like, nyah, 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 nyah. I don't know what that was. It sounded like the quack of a duck. So I assumed it was a duck. Mo, Larry, and Curly adopted me and raised me as a child. And then I became an adult and I wasn't a child anymore. And I looked at Mo, Larry, and Curly in the absence of my real parents, my midwife, my high wife, my low wife, my father. And I looked at Mo, and there was a tear coming out of Mo's face. And I said, Mo, what's the problem here? And Mo said, well, we've raised you from a child, and now you're an adult. Now you are a man. Go off and multiply. Well, I wasn't great at math. I couldn't multiply, nor divide. Well, I remember in school, I failed geometry 3 times. Did I tell you that story ever? I do remember a very serious argument I had with my brother. We were working the farm, and we had sheep on the side of a hill near the barn where I was born. And I said, I'll go feed the sheep. They need to be tended to. And my brother said, no. I'll go see the sheep. I said, why you? I'll see the sheep. And my brother said, no, I'm going to feed the sheep. I want to feed the sheep. Then I found out something about my brother that I really can't believe to this day. Ron, is that really what your childhood was? No. I made it up. We'll take a commercial break and then our guest will be joining us. But first, there's this.
Let's be honest. You are socially awkward. You've no idea how to start a polite conversation. You wouldn't know what to do or say if you stumbled into one. And when it comes to talking with members of the opposite sex, you're like a 6th grade wallflower at the school dance. You need help, and you know it. You need me, Thompson St. Thomas, fancy bastard. For a courteous, pre-arranged fee, I am now offering wingman services for both men and women. Even if you've got the vocabulary range of a brain-damaged gibbon, with me at your side explaining to people what you rarely meant to say, every drool-drenched bit of drivel that slobbers out of your scone hole will sound witty, erudite, and confident. And ladies, don't be shy. Take my arm and we'll go chat with the gent across the room with whom you've been exchanging glances all evening. Don't worry, he won't be intimidated by my extraordinary good looks. I guarantee he will only see me as your good British friend who happens to be incredibly gay. It's a service only I can provide, because I am Thompson St. Thomas, fancy bastard. So do let me know where we'll be going next, you and I.
Amber Canavan joins us now. She's the manager of campaigns for the people for the ethical treatment of animals. It's a lot of words. It's P.E.T.A. That's how we know them. And they join us frequently. I love speaking to them because I love people that love animals and respect them. And here you go. There are so many different categories of how P.E.T.A. helps animals as far as acting humane with them. This is interesting. This is about going vegan in a way. Thanks for being with us, first of all, Amber.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We love talking about vegan cheeses here.
Yeah, I know. A little bit aside, which has to do with this. One of the greatest dilemmas of my life. I mean, I eat meat, and when I do, I feel horrible. If I had a pet pig, I wouldn't be eating pork anymore. I know that's a fact. It's a dilemma for a lot of people. A lot of people understand what they're doing, but it's just the way they've always lived.
Right. And, these vegan cheese boom that we're having, this really exciting thing in the, culinary and seeing these things exploding on the grocery store shelves. We're just love to talk about it because it does offer, that alternative for people who are looking to change the way they're eating and be more kind to animals in their daily lives like that.
Well, the obvious question is, what is this cheese made out of if not cow's milk?
Yeah, so cheese it can be made with a different base than the cow's milk base, and then you're using cultures and different culinary ways to make it into that cheesy taste and texture.
Mm-hmm.
So we're seeing really amazing things being done. For instance, creamy feta made from almonds. You can get melty mozzarella made from cashews. You can get this bagel-ready cream cheese that's made from tofu. We've seen oat milk-based cheeses these days.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a whole guide to all of that at PETA.org/cheeses.
Mm-hmm.
So people who are a little confused, they're maybe not sure what to look for in the grocery store, they can visit there and see all the different brands and everything that's available.
I've got a great slogan for you. It would be, I found cheeses. Okay, then never mind. So, it actually sounds quite appetizing because I use nut milk, almond milk, sometimes oatmeal milk, and it sounds like it would kind of have a nutty taste to it, which I think I would enjoy in a cheese.
If it's like a spreadable cheese, something you're going to put on a charcuterie board or some crackers, those nut-based cheeses do have that nice, rich flavor and texture. And then for things where you want the flavor to more stand on its own, like the oat milk bases, oat milk doesn't have much of a flavor in itself, or tofu doesn't. And then they're adding, that flavor with the same cultures that dairy-based cheeses would have. You're just using a different base, and you're doing something that's better for the environment. It's cholesterol-free. It's also a great choice for the folks who are lactose intolerant. You're not going to be getting all that stomach upset and the gas and the bloating.
Well, that's true. Yeah, everybody raise your hand now
the
about
dairy milk.
Yeah, the gas and the bloating. Everybody's raising their hand, and it is healthier. let's look at the other side of it. I mean, one would think that milking a dairy cow is actually helpful to them. They need that kind of relief. It's not necessarily harmful. However, as I understand it, the way that the cows live, how they're hooked up, restricted, that's inhumane.
Right. So a lot of people don't realize, I mean, cows, like all mammals, just like humans, they're not just dripping milk all the time naturally. That's something that the dairy industry does to them. Cows only produce milk when they're lactating because of a pregnancy. So to do this, the dairy industry forcibly impregnates cows and then takes their beloved babies away from them so that the milk that was meant for those babies can be sold at market for like a pizza topping or a grilled cheese sandwich. And people who've lived, including myself, who've lived near dairy farms, the day that they take those babies away, because you hear the crying of those mother cows, sometimes for days afterwards. And that heartbreak and the strain on their bodies, most cows can live up to 20 years. Most cows used in the dairy industry are killed 4 to 6 years of age, fraction of their natural lifespan. It just wears their bodies down, both physically and I believe the heartbreak of repeatedly having their babies taken away from them just so that we could put a dairy-based cheese on our pizza when we have all these delicious other cheeses that don't require that suffering.
Yeah, one would find there's always another way of doing it for healthy reasons, humane reasons. There's always another option in every category that we deal with as far as treatment of animals.
Yeah, this is one of those really simple things. You're at the grocery store and you're looking at the dairy case, and nowadays, like pretty much every grocery store has some vegan cheeses, oftentimes right on the shelf right next to all the dairy-based cheeses. And it's just a matter of, shifting your eyes over, look for that brand. There's Dea, Violife, Treeline, Kite Hill cheeses. There are so many brands out there for all the different ways you might want to use cheese. Grilled cheese, pizza, you get those melty cheeses for the charcuterie boards, or putting some cheese on your crackers after a long day at work. PETA.org/cheeses is our all-in-one guide to checking out all the availability of everything that's out there. It's really exciting for people who are foodies to try this whole variety, this whole new world that's out there.
Well, that's basically what you're saying. Next time you go to the food store, try it, and you might be surprised. Well,
I think people will be pleasantly surprised by what they've got.
I hope so too. One more time, the website where we can pick up some more information on this whole subject matter.
We've got PETA's vegan cheese guide. It's PETA.org/cheeses. That's PETA.org/cheeses.
Well, that'll do it for me today. Thank you for being here. Thank you to my guest, and thank you to Jason Shaw, who does background music for us and themes for us. He did the background music today while my childhood story was being relayed to you verbally. Thank you, Jason. I'll be back again tomorrow with another episode, but until that time arrives, I wish you peace.